Hey, this is Daryl Henry with Insurance for Entrepreneurs, and this video is how to buy workers' compensation insurance for your Maryland business. I'm going to start by talking through the decision of whether or not you use an independent agent or you do it yourself. And then, if you do it yourself, we're going to walk through the different steps of how you buy workers' compensation insurance. So, step one, do you use an agent? This question is a lot like, do you hire an accountant to do your taxes? If your taxes aren't very complicated, there's no problem with getting TurboTax and doing it yourself. It takes about an hour, costs $60. Similarly, for workers' compensation insurance, if you got one or two employees, you can go online to someplace like Buyberk and buy it really easy. It's hassle free. You'll be done very quickly. Where it gets complicated is when you start to get 5, 10 employees. Maybe they're operating in multiple states. Maybe your payrolls fluctuate. Maybe you need certificates of insurance to go out. Now, all of a sudden, it's starting to get complicated to manage your program. So that's how I think you decide whether or not you use an agent or you do it yourself. Now, if you choose to do it yourself, here are the steps. First, you're going to have to assess your own business, and you're going to have to do it in such a way that you can translate what you do to an insurance company. And the way insurance companies need you to break it down is they need to know what type of industry you're in and the type of work your employees do. That's going to impact how they classify your employees. They're going to need to know where you do business. So we're talking about Maryland businesses, but sometimes Maryland businesses go to Pennsylvania or Delaware or DC or Virginia or West Virginia. And if you're doing and work in other states, they need to reflect that on the workers' compensation policy. Also, you're going to need to know what is required by your contracts. You may be a sole proprietor that's not required by state law to carry workers' compensation insurance, but if you're going to go work for a GC, they're going to require it because they don't want to pay for your workers' compensation bills. And then lastly, they're going to need to know the size of your business, and they're going to need to know the payroll of all your employees broken down by the type of work that they do. So that's how you assess yourself. Two, you're going to need to research and compare insurance providers. Different insurance companies are interested in insuring different types of industries. There's some industries that are pretty clear cut. It's not all that hard. Ice cream shops, not all that hard. A lot of companies will do that. Florists. But you start getting into some of the riskier work, more complicated work, and the number of companies that are interested in insuring your business shrinks. And knowing what the marketplaces look like from industry to industry can be very difficult, especially if you're not buying and selling the insurance every day. So once you've researched and figure out which insurance companies are going to be interested in insuring your business, you're going to need to get quotes and compare them. You're going to need to go online. A lot of companies will let you quote online, some won't. Sometimes you need to go to an online marketplace, and you're going to need to get quotes from the Hartford and Travelers and Cincinnati or whoever you're looking to get quotes from. Review it, make sure that they're all quoting apples for apples so that you can make a good comparison about who is the best one for you. And when you're comparing those quotes, here's some criteria to go through. One, make sure they're all using the same states, same classifications, and same payroll. That can make a big difference in the cost. You're going to want to pay attention to whether or not the company offers pay-as-you-go options, because if you're a business with a lot of volatility in your payroll, it can be very frustrating to try and estimate your payroll at the beginning of the year and then have big differences at the end. You're also going to want to evaluate loss control services. Some companies will help you set up return to work programs or employee safety programs. And yeah, those are the things that you need to think about when you're evaluating the different quotes. And so then after that, you're going to have to choose the right policy and provider. So you're going to want to evaluate that the insurance company that you're working with is financially stable, that they have ease of policy management. Can you go online and make changes, request certificates of insurance? Are they going to be flexible if you go into different states? These are all important things to flesh out as you're making the decision. And then step 5 is you got to purchase the policy. So there's going to be paperwork that needs to be signed. You're going to need to make payment and then get proof of insurance. So those are the 5 steps if you're going to buy it yourself. For some businesses, not all that hard to go online and buy yourself. And if you fall in that category, no sweat. But if you're looking at your business and saying there's a lot of moving parts, then it's probably going to be in your best interest to go find an agent that can assist you with that process. I hope that helped. If it did, please hit like and subscribe. It helps other people like you find the content. If you want to learn more about me, go to my website at insuranceforentrepreneurs.net. It's got more information like this. It's also got my contact information. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best. Go build something great.